Ebusia memu wakwa basron kokora de obeye PHDTV ebusia na makacho se Ghana manyo sema etweguo eye hot political update na bedo mo channel eso sanso na sema wo de fe papa na bo Kennedy akompre kuntum berma Ohene Agyapong bema onsinsu mansa na oham ne wonsem no bebre na obeti e wo channel eso intine no first time oba channel we so the message of modern subscribe channel no family na share video we for mo nua no nye bi nshronte de ekoso e wo my Ghana like it na comment na mi hu so agye nchefa sa insemi ehu ediam je so e ba ko eno ane uncle Addo Ken ebusua yewura Adutwum ne nsensem ne de egusu a ekoso papa na yesi obi ba je kesu sa na ebusua yewura Dr. Oseyaw Adutwum chiremu a in fact nyame obo no so na sase no onim de oye papa o se hwe wonni mi se me yeto aba no wie ye prime minister ni wie me what stand na de Bawumia campaign office for frem ya Dr. Alhaji Bawumia yes yo nya me ko ya krachi sorry I can't consider you as my running mate. Is there hundi? I say, oh, okay. I hear you. So untimi amate why, okay? Na ebusafo o kiremu a se na nyame hyehye enanti Dr. Alhaji Bawumia ngina ntum ama na anya na running mate. Na ndey no ono ananko ope second. Ope second no ndey ono no mumba be ye first. Yame de oyena dia nipa bi antiase nyame nkwa na tiase watiase. Inti ndenu Dr. Oseyaw Adutwum kiremu a no opeseken wenya ndenu nyame ahyehye first na nkasa e de ama no nne onu mom eba be ye fragba na onu mom achusu second obi amana be ye ni second nti Dr. Oseyaw Adutwum na owie no wasade asoso se free SHS ekakakra bi nkasa free SHS ho sensem nkekun no ni na eto aso yentie
want to be. I mean, of course, everybody want to afford mobility. A friend of mine always said every police officer one day wants to be an IGP. So when you go into politics, you can say, I'm a member of parliament and I don't want to be considered for a running mate. So of course.
You told him about me at the time?
Of course.
You told him that you were
interested? Yes, okay. Of course.
And what did he tell you?
Of course, he will tell you, I'm considering. I mean, that is the normal thing. He won't tell you your face that I won't select you. He'll tell you when the time is ripe, I'll let you know. The Bawumia's office called me and said, after the announcement came, and then he called me and said, I want to come and see you. I said, no, I'll come to you. So I went to see him at the house, and he told me that I'm so sorry I couldn't consider you. But by that time,
he apologized to you for not
apologize. He just said I couldn't consider you. And I said, thank you, no problem. There's a reason for everything. I think in life, when you struggle for something.
So you were not offended?
No.
You didn't take it to heart?
No. I didn't feel bad. I thought God has a plan, a different plan for me, and I should rather focus on it. This may not be it.
Is the plan to be president then?
Who knows? God always has a plan for a man.
But the man you told that you want to be his running mate, you're now going to contest him.
I'm going to contest him because I've done my research and I know something. What I know is that Ghanaians are waiting for Dr. Adutwum. If MPP delegates do me the honor of making me the flag bearer, it is going to be an interesting election.
But why don't you let him win again and then have a deal with him for him to now install you as a running mate? If he didn't do it.
If you can be president, why wait for running mate? Why do you want to wait for number 2 when you can be number 1?
But last year you were ready to be number 2.
Times have changed.
It was okay last year. It just a year on.
Times have changed.
What really has changed? What really has changed? Because it just a year ago.
What has changed is that I saw how we were beating in the election. When Nana Akufo-Addo's turn came, he came to California to campaign. Of course, we have to go through the same to make sure we can support his campaign. And then it was there that Addo saw the work I was doing and asked me. We had met him at the auditorium of one of my schools, and he saw the work I was doing there after I was introduced, and he asked me a simple question. Would you consider coming back to Ghana to help me change the education system? Because Americans, and I asked him, what is it I want to do? There were too many people there. So the first thing I said was, can I talk to you later? I said, no, say it right now. So after that, he said, would you consider coming back to Ghana to help me change the education system? And I said, what is it that you're going to do differently? He talked about free senior high school. Then he handed me over to Honorable Osafo and others, Alan Martin. They were all there. I said, you need to talk to this young man. I want him in Ghana to come and help me implement the free secondary education and other education reforms. I didn't know how life was going to turn out. I came, talk about free senior high school implementation, some bold ideas that we had to employ to make sure, communicate on it, go around the country. One of my journeys back from Boko, Bupe, my car was shot at. Literally killed on the line of duty. When I went to the Bupe police station, they said it has never happened before. Nobody has ever shot into a government vehicle because they know you don't carry money. Normally they will attack traders, not somebody in a Land Cruiser. I almost lost my life.
You think it was possibly a targeted assassination?
I don't know. But all that I know was that the side of my car where I said was bullet ridden. I saw these people who had mask on. So we turned a corner, we saw them with their mask on, then they started shooting. My driver was do a zigzag, go this way, come this way to dodge the bullets. It was a very difficult day. And we escaped that. Remember, Chief of Staff being on the phone with me throughout the night to make sure I had arrived safely in Kumasi. When we got to the Bupe police station and we stopped, that is when the tire went flat. They shot into the tire non-stop so that they could stop us there. So I was almost killed in the line of duty for this country.
Yes. It's been 9 months since this new government. Since you left. What's your verdict on the way your successor has managed first as pre-SHS policy? Happy with it? Is it keeping your legacy intact?
I think in some areas, they are keeping the legacy intact. In some areas, I'm not seeing any progression of the legacy, but at least whatever we left is being kept. So STEM education, they haven't done anything untoward towards STEM education. When you look at areas where they promised that within 120 days, they will eliminate the double track.
Yeah, but it's still an agenda of theirs.
Yes.
Harun Idrisu says on August 24th, the double track system has impacted negatively on quality. It says students have fewer contact hours and less study time, which affects their performance, and they're so committed to
unfortunately, my brother Haruna doesn't understand. And the staff at the ministry have done great injustice to him. They should have shown him the data. They should have shown him the numbers in terms of contact hours. And they should have also told him that about 35 or less % of the schools are on double track. The rest of them are no longer on double track. So he shouldn't speak as if all schools are on double track. About 65%, now going to 70%, are no longer on double track. They are on single track. In his own region, Tamasco has been off double track for the last 3-4 years. A number of schools are no longer on double track. So he should give that history. The idea that it has harmed education. Look at the WAEC results and it should tell you it hasn't harmed education. I tell you this, the only people that have sympathy for, and I wanted to make sure we get rid of double track, were the headmasters. Even though they were allowed to go on vacation and leave the work to the assistant heads, many of them will not do it. I know Pokwa headmaster did that every year. He went on vacation and left the assistant head in charge. I was always teasing her, hey, you were able to go. He said, when I'm gone, I'm still working with them. But many headmasters, they want to take a chance. Maybe the assistant may not do what they wanted to do. So if you talk about a group that had my sympathies, it was mainly the headmasters.
They formed an 11-member committee to face it out.
And when they formed it, how many days did they meet to come to the conclusion that they couldn't? The 120 days that they said they were going to face it out within 120 days. In fact, they put some schools on notice that single track schools not to open because they're going to combine their opening with all the other schools. Then they realized that they couldn't. You see, the knowledge and ideas that went to the double track, I always say that communication can kill you. We did not communicate well at the beginning. So we were overtaken by events. It was a novel idea, something different, never happened in Ghana, but it had happened in America. I taught in a double track school system. We didn't call it double track, and that name too was a problem. When you say something is double,
but you held on to it even as a minister.
No, but what do you do?
Didn't change.
What do you do?
You rebrand the name.
No.
You change the name to something else more appropriate.
No, it was already done. We have close to 70% of the schools already off double track. So what was the point? The point I'm making here is this. You always have to make sure you fully understand. I mean, they recently launched the B-STEM. We launched B-STEM here in November, right here, November 7th, right here in East Legon. I launched B-STEM. Then I heard the minister launching it again in Sunyane. But it wasn't a problem for me. Relaunching is affirmation of something good that I did. So I commend him for affirming